Hero Club presents Los Ingobernables de Tokusatsu.
This is Los Ingobernables de Tokusatsu, episode 28. I am one of your hosts and founding members, Wheelchair 21, and joining me as always is technically the sixth senshi of the group, who is really actually the third member of the group, Janitor Joker, President Kaiksa.
I mean, I'm basically Aberray Black, if we're getting down to the technical business.
Yeah, I would say probably like the Aberray Black syndrome, the Go Rider syndrome, the Go on Green, Go on Black syndrome. It's kind of one of those kind of
scenarios. So basically, my waifu is evil and I have to save her.
Well, probably, and I don't know which exactly waifu we're talking about, since, you know, her mind is in Japan and her body's in America.
Shout out to Demon Wolf. I mean, Cosmic Latte.
T Cosmic Latte on Twitter. Check him out. He's the first official cosplayer of Hero Club 2. But, nevertheless, we should be actually talking about our guests tonight, since, you know, one of these members is a member of Hero Club. He's one of the, I guess I call them the four founders, the founding members. He is Soundout 12. He's been on this podcast already once before.
He's one of the four horsemen of the apocalypse.
And fire shall rain down from the skies, claiming my entrance into this world.
So which one are you?
I think Soundout's Pestilence.
Oh.
Probably. That would make most sense.
And I'm pretty sure Project is War. Ben is Famine, since he's dieting.
So he's both.
And I think I'm Death, because, well, there's reasons behind that, but we'll talk about that off the show. Because
you killed your own legs.
Well, in technicality, yes, but if we talk more about why I'm Death, you know, that's a whole blooper reel for Patreon, and then some. And also, returning to the podcast, and I think now actually tying Visible Ninja for most appearances, is SentaiBandicoot, aka Alex.
Hello.
Right, yeah, it's been a while. I think the last time we saw you was before episode, 15. So it's been a while.
What episode is this right now?
28.
Oh,
28.
crap.
Yeah, it's been 13
flies.
episodes or more since you've been here. And there's a bit of an ironic, I guess, thing of events of why we have both Soundout and Alex on this episode, is because this episode, as last week we promised, is Sentai-oriented. Now, there's more reasons as to how this is Sentai-oriented without even explaining. We originally wanted just our discussion topic to be about Sentai, and then eventually we got Sentai news, which was just really timely. So, for our lit list, we were going to be looking at a little bit of the Sentai news that was recently announced. We have a little bit of Garo news that was announced, one Power Rangers piece of news, and then we're going to be talking about our discussion, which ironically was yet again created up by either Mucha or Mucha in a discussion with Alex in private messages over Facebook or text messages. I don't know how they come up with some of these ideas that we do on these episodes.
Psychic link wheels.
Oh, the hive mind scenario. So, anyways, let's start off with our freaking news, and usually reading the news is none other than Mucha. Luckily, this time he can't be like, "So Wheels, tell me about this."
Alright. Or can I?
Also, Mucha saved the best news for last, you know, the trademarks.
Okay, so talk about another thing. Like, you know, those Bandai America exclusives revealed. Limited edition Fighter Spirit Legacy figure set of a price of $80 have been announced, and it's of Zeo Red, White Ranger, and Green Ranger, so that should be fun. Since Wheels, I don't remember Power Rangers, can you tell me about these characters?
Shut the fuck up, Mucha. Shut the fuck you. You know exactly. It's literally the go fuck yourself. This is the Tommy Super Pack with, hey, guess what? Brain damage Green Ranger, and, you know, the fact that Zeo Red is gonna have his goddamn power sword. Motherfuckers, I just want the Zeo Red and the power sword. Don't want the brain damage Green that makes Ranger Board go crazy right now.
The funny part about Brain Damage Green is the attention to detail, because they gave him a silver morpher, and a white holster on top of the silver paint.
Because he's supposed to represent white power?
He's supposed to represent Tommy's mental brain damage from getting kicked in the head too many times.
Oh, dyslexia. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Also announces a Tokyo Vinyl Toma Edition Mighty Morphin Megazord, which is a black, teal, purple colored thing that's $60.
Whoever buys this is an idiot.
I beg your pardon, this is a what now?
Beg your pardon, sir? a Toma Edition Mighty Morphin Megazord.
And you
Tokyo
said
vinyl.
it's teal, black, violet. Is that what you said?
Yes, it looks
It's
like
fabulous.
the Joker. It's very fabulous looking. It's like a JoJo character decided to enter the Power Rangers life, and this is what happened.
Oh my.
It's pretty fabulous though. I'm not gonna lie.
The color
Oh, we did.
choice is just fabulous. It's magnificent.
But the real question is, how much is it again?
$60.
60.
$60.
That's like way too much. Just like how the 3-pack
That's.
is $20 too much.
It looks like, like a chibi daijujin that like watched Abba Ranger and decided I want to be like that evil like dinosaur robot.
Oh yeah, it is like Dr. Renault.
But that's all for toy news. Is anybody gonna buy this, or are we all just gonna save our money for better things like?
I just want a Zeo Red with the actual sword in the retail line, but no.
Well, here's something interesting about this. There was a tweet made about how the green and white metallic Rangers were exclusive to this pack, not saying that the metallic Zeo may probably come out later, kind of like how the metallic Mighty Morphin Red came out later as well.
I know, so it probably will have the sword with it. Probably.
And you will have to double dip on Zeo if you want the Megazord and the weapons.
I don't want the Megazord because it's so inaccurately scaled. It's like, hey man, he has huge legs that make no fucking sense.
But he's
Then
a
you might want
chibi.
to wait. But just
Exactly.
know the fear that the Gold Ranger may be exclusive somewhere at some convention.
What's the Gold Ranger? Can you explain that one, Wheels?
Oh, go fuck yourself.
Garo Project announced that a teaser trailer of Garo Divine Fang, or Garo Kami no Kiba, it's a thing with Garo that's written and directed by Keita Amamiya. It focuses on... It's a movie about...
It's a movie on a season that some people either hate or really love. I'm one of those people where I hate that season it's focusing on.
I don't even know what season's about.
It's the He Who Shines in the Dark or whatever.
Oh, that one. Ugh.
I still haven't seen past the original show.
Oh, God. That one?
Yeah,
They made a movie about that one?
Yeah, they're making a movie about that one. They're making a
Ew.
movie about fucking, what is it, Ryu guy?
Which one is this?
That's
This is
the
like
one
the
that's
third or fourth
like,
season.
awful.
That
That's the one that
made,
had
like,
Guy in it.
It's the third one, I think. It's
Oh, the one with Ryoma's actor and Guy's actor.
Yes. It's the one that
Yeah.
most people
and also
hate.
Decade.
Shh.
He's in there too.
Yeah, he was the best part of the show.
Yeah, I tried watching that. I couldn't do
And
it.
he's in the movie now, so that's good.
I mean...
Don't forget the
certainly-
first time when Amamiya met him. Amamiya actually asked him for his autograph, and the first thing he did he pulled out a photo, an actual writer card of Decade with his autograph on it, and he started handing it out to everyone. And Amamiya's like, "Do you just carry them around?" Yeah, I kind of do.
That's one way to do it.
I mean, that's one spectacular way to do it that I will agree with.
So all I can say is if I ever meet Masahiro Inoue, I'm gonna be like, "You a G, man. You a G. You embraced your role as the man who can enter anything."
And yet never make it better. Anyway, time for the big news. That's right. Digimon Season 3, let's go!
Digimon season. We already got a season 3.
The legit Season 3. Anyway.
I thought you were gonna say Digimon Adventure Quad.
Digimon Adventure 4, let's go! It's a time travel story.
Wait, did I somehow
The newest problems to try.
Did I somehow miss this? Really?
No. It's not real.
Oh, it's not real. Okay.
The only thing that's real are these trademarks that...
Oh wait, you skipped
Matt
over
Hanna-
you literally skipped over the other toy news. I'm like, wait a second, you skipped over that. Whatever. Let's
What
go
toy
to the
news?
trade.
What
Just go to
toy-
the trade.
what-
Just
what
go to
toy
the
news,
trademark.
Wheels?
Just go.
Tell me.
Just go to the
Tell me.
trademark. No one cares anyways. No one cares about Dragon Caesar. Just go off.
How dare you, sir? I
What's a
care about
Dragon Caesar?
Dragon
I care
Caesar,
about-
Dragon Caesar, Dragon who gives a fuck.
I care about Dragon Caesar, sir. Anyway, the other news, which we hinted at earlier, the trademark for the next Sentai season of 2018. Woo! But
Sentai's not dead, yay!
Fuck
the
all
real
of you
twist-
on Ranger Board who think it dies every freaking year.
Listen, Ranger Board thinks Live Man sucks. Do you really care about Ranger Board?
Oh
Wait,
god!
wait, what?
I would never go on Ranger Board ever
What?
again.
What?
What? They think Live Man sucks. But the real twist here is that there wasn't one Sentai announced. There were two Sentai names trademarked. Do, 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 do. One is Keisatsu Sentai Patoranger and Kaito Sentai Lupinranger. So, based on those names, we kind of guess something's up with the whole, police and thieves going on here, man. Kind
of funny, because I was talking to Darkon a couple weeks ago, and he was like, what if the next Sentai is actually two Sentai that fight each other?
That has been a very popular theory over what is going on, because we've never had two trademarks revealed at the same time, so everyone's like, wait, what is going on?
When did they reveal the Go Rider trademark originally for Hurricaneger?
There was no Go Rider trademark. It was just Hurricaneger.
Because it's the name of the show. It's not the name of it's not these trademarks are not for specific items within a series.
Yeah, it's just for the show.
It's just a series name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they're they're going to build the series off of it being pretty much Sentai versus Sentai in the title for the first time ever.
People are speculating it's going to be them battling each other, Patoranger versus Lupinranger.
There was some speculation that they were reserving a name for a V Cinema or a spin-off show, but they usually don't trademark the V Cinema names with the series name this early. And also, I could see spin-off show, but at the same time, the names are related in what they are, so it make more sense for them to be the same series.
But it sent the internet into a blaze of what the fuckery.
Because what doesn't these days?
You're right. Shit.
Here's the thing. When it first happened, right, I was sitting there going, well, this is actually really different. I thought, okay, so the title's probably going to be called literally Sentai versus Sentai, or it's literally going to be some really unique, different type of way of naming the show, because how are they going to get away with having two full-on Sentais unless one's going to be called Patrol Ranger and their villains are actually the Lupinrangers? So the show is still called Patoranger, and then you got freaking the the Lupinrangers in the series. Because, it could either be that or whatever, because, as Alex is saying, supposedly they didn't even trademark Go Rider originally. They only trademarked Hurricaneger. So it's
because Hurricaneger was the show, and Go Riders were just part of the Hurricaneger show.
Yeah, so...
Just Go On Wings get a separate trademark.
I guess this show is having two titles? I'm not sure if I've ever heard of something like that before, but...
One of my speculations is that they are technically two different shows, but they take place at the same time.
Yeah, I've heard a theory that people think that both shows are going to be 25 episodes each and they're going to alternate or something.
1 week you get Patoranger and then the next it's Lupinranger.
Yeah, and they might
the storylines may intersect.
Yeah, they might intersect at times here and they're
oh god, this would be that bullshit that America tried to do with Vehicle Voltron and freaking Original Lion Voltron and Gladiator Voltron.
Actually, thinking about it, this idea of switching off storylines is kind of what Q Ranger has been doing, where
that's funny because Q Ranger did do that. Yeah.
So they're already kind of doing that. Here's this part, Q Rangers had, here's 6 people that are off on this time travel mission. Here's 6 people that are off on this present day mission.
Yeah.
And it could work something similar to that.
Yeah, it would seem that Q Ranger, the whole, as far as I know, Q Ranger has been selling hotcakes over in Japan. So apparently the whole 9 hero gimmick thing worked out pretty well. So I guess they're okay, how can we keep this but keep it fresh? And I guess
having 2 different teams with 5.
Just dividing them up in 2 different teams. Yeah.
Or if they really wanted to scale it down a bit, they could do 2 teams of 3.
I was actually thinking about how big the teams would be, and I was thinking maybe they would be 2 teams of 3. Maybe they'd eventually grow to 2 teams of 5, perhaps.
Yeah,
I heard 2 teams of 6.
What?
2 teams of 6, and then not use every single Ranger every episode. They could have different combinations, kind of like what Q Ranger's been doing, where it doesn't have all 12 Rangers transforming every episode.
They could do that. Yeah, I also keeping the budget in mind for these shows. I'm gonna assume that some of these characters are probably going to be suited characters.
Possibly.
I'm gonna assume that we're half the cast is probably going to be human actors.
Again. Yeah, that's the one thing that is slightly disappointing about Q Ranger is the use of suit actors in a sense and seiyus, because I would like to see more, I guess, cosmetic alterations to actors to make them look,
Alien.
different. Yeah, an alien, rather than just straight up being, hey, here's your typical Sentai suit. Because, like, another thing, though, I think that annoys me, too, is look at the budget for Q Ranger as well as Rider lately, where they can't even afford a budget to advance making Kaijin suits or Monsters of the Week suits, where we've seen just them just take off the head and put a new head on lately.
Or they just reuse, like with X-Aid, where it was like there was so many Rider suits running around that they just used the same 10 Kaijin and then just kept having them revive, which worked for the video game theme because revived bosses happens a lot in video games.
Yeah, like, it's one of the ones, though, like, when seeing it with Q Ranger, it's like, why is, like, everyone the freaking same that they keep fighting? Like, some of the magistrates are the same and stuff.
Like, basically, the commanders of their army are a specific type, and they're all... Like, Dark Matter can't just be recruiting people all the time, so obviously, most of their army is made up of something that's manufactured.
Yeah, and it kind of, like, hurts for the, I guess, the typical Sentai aesthetic of always having unique monsters weekly.
I think that's just because Toei's just been cutting the budgets and just making things simpler by how always reusing suits.
But also at the same time, you think about Q Ranger, you have a total of, let's say, like 16, 17 Ranger suits, which is way more than usual.
Yeah.
There is also like the thing to consider that Bandai is like making them like juggle like all these toys into the budget as well.
Yeah.
I mean, remember the Pegasus Q-Tama?
I mean, that only showed up like once or twice or something.
Like
I think it got used twice. And Kotaro's enlarging power-up only got used I think that one got used like 4 or 5 times.
I do remember the Pegasus Q-Tama looked like really cheap foam plastic to the point where I could actually notice it was starting to bend.
In its first appearance, even.
Yeah.
And that maybe they were like, we're not using this much to just promote a toy, so we don't need to make this really sturdy.
Yeah.
I think it's when it comes down to it, and that may be why, like, the Sun and Moon forms for Shishi Red were just helmet swaps.
Possibly,
because also when it comes to Q Ranger's costumes, each of the Ranger suits is distinctive in their design. They're not reusing as many parts. It's not like mostly spandex suit with new helmet. It's every Q Ranger has their own distinctive traits with their costume. So that made the suits more expensive overall, which is why they cut down on the Kaijin suit expenses.
Yeah, and that's like one of the things, like I was saying, I think to you and Darkon beforehand, is that when eventually Saban gets his hands on Q Ranger, he's going to do more about, I feel like he's going to do cosmetic stuff with actors. Like, I don't feel like he's going to use all the suits. Like, I feel like Raptor in this case isn't going to be the Raptor robot. It's literally going to be that it's just some chick that's an android with wings sticking out of her bow. Yeah, like her anagram is like like she's the Raptor model, but she's really like going to be named like some weird like actual name, but she'll have like Raptor's iconic wings sticking off of her back. It'll be like some angelic android.
So basically Americanize it, like into Americanized.
Yeah, because like I don't.
Because America can have robot waifus.
Because like I feel like they're gonna try to actually make it so they don't have to do how Raptor is a full-on suit with Mao Michi voicing it. They'll actually get an actress that just has the robot wings sticking out of her back.
And also, they really don't have to worry about it too much since there isn't much Raptor stock footage to use.
Like, the big part of like why like half the Q Ranger cast are like suited characters is because of like what a Sentai budget normally is. Like, normally it's like enough for just 5 face actors for the most part.
Yeah, most Sentais can only afford, what is it, like, usually 6 Senshis and like maybe 3 or 4 support actors without needing to require a suit at times. And that's only a few times.
And that was why Kyoryuger, when it had characters like Kyoryu Cien and like the additional Rangers like Cien, Gray,
Violet. Yeah, they would only show up every now and then.
Right, they were very scattered appearances. And then later when they had a new Gray and a new Cien, they used the same actor that was Gray, and then they used Blue's sister, who was already part of the show.
Yeah.
So it didn't inflate the budget as much. And they used
I do think it's pretty. It's actually clever that Toei would actually use suited like characters just to have like a mainstay of like 9 heroes from start to finish.
Yeah, it gives them more flexibility without having to worry about face actor budgets. Because I think with the way Q Ranger's gone, I think we have the usual number of face actors for Sentai.
I mean, I could imagine like how horrifying Q Ranger could be if it did hire 9 face actors, because my goodness, the budget for everything else would probably look like crap then.
Oh yeah, and then Otori wouldn't be the legend that he is today, because goddamn it, he's a goddamn fucking legend, man.
When it comes to that, like, another thing they cut the budget was they didn't have to worry about any side characters, support characters, mentors, or anything like that. Like, they didn't have any face actors for the supporting cast. Because there really is no supporting cast. Everybody that's part of the show's regular cast is a Q Ranger.
Oh my god, Mucha, wishful thinking Toku actors who should have been Lord Orion. Fucking is a Toku actor who is playing Lord Orion. God, that article, whoever wrote that article, you should feel bad about yourself. And I hope you listen to this podcast, because I'm calling you out, son.
But yeah, this is interesting news. I didn't really expect 2 Sentai trademarks being announced. So there's a lot of speculation going on, such as the speculative colors being used of like the Patrol Rangers using red, black, and white, and Lupin being gold, silver, and bronze.
I came up with a theory that maybe both teams could have a red. Hey, Toei, this your chance to do a female red, huh?
They won't do it.
They won't have a regular female red. If they were going to do that, they would have done it in Q Ranger. Like, any regular appearance female red's just not going to happen. We got Shinken Red Kaoru was like the big exception. They did it for 5 episodes, and that was about as much as they wanted to do it.
Now here's something funny that me and Mucha were actually talking about, and it was that with the whole concept of Lupin Rangers, we were making a joke that I don't know if Toei has the rights to the anime, I'm pretty sure they don't, but it'd be funny if they could make it that Lupin Rangers themselves, all of their colors had originally been based off of, what was it, red, blue, and orange, like Lupin the Third.
Coats.
Yeah, Lupin's coats from the anime. Like, that'd be a funny thing, but I don't think Toei ever did the Lupin the Third animes, even though Lupin the Third itself is popular in Japan, like, the whole concept. So, like, I would love to see that happen, I just don't think it would,
They can make references. Nothing stops them from being satirical or using them as references.
Yeah, and that's what I think would be a cool idea. I mean, I just don't know where they could go from there. Now, I know, they're actually going to use, colors of riches, of gold, silver, and bronze. A part of me, when I first heard gold and silver, I said to myself, if it's fucking platinum, this is a Metal Hero reference. And I was like, bronze? I was like, no one wants bronze!
Yeah, why not make Star Platinum?
It would just be beautiful. It would just be beautiful if it was gold, silver, and then as a joke, like, they actually do, like, one of the goddamn crossovers like they did with the Gavin and Decker Ranger one, if they actually do a, Space Garrison movie again, and out of nowhere, the crossover is, like, they run into the the B-Fighter Kabuto guys, and they're just sitting there like, you have the same colors as us. And the B-Fighter Kabuto guys are like, who the fuck are you guys? And, like, the entire episode is that the Patrol Rangers misidentify the freaking B-Fighter Kabuto guys as the Lupin Rangers because their colors match.
That'd be amazing.
That would have been, like, I wanted it to be, gold, silver, platinum, just in case we ever do get, the fantasized sequels from the Space Patrol ending, where it was like, hey, it's an open-ended, ending where, hey, that means sequels are gonna happen, maybe, if you want them. Buy the DVD, support us.
By the way, Lupin the Third was made or produced by TMS Entertainment, not Toei. However, Toei could be really cheeky about this. They could name the Lupin Rangers with numbers. So you get Lupin the First, Lupin the Second, Lupin the Third.
Da-da-da-da.
Lupin the Third.
But yeah, no, I'm interested, and ironically, and Project shows up right now.
Restarting the call yet again.
Probably. Wait,
what?
Didn't happen. You just jumped in literally into the actual podcast.
Oh, howdy.
Yes, howdy.
Howdy ho! We were talking about Lupinranger and Patoranger.
Sentai versus Sentai, possibly. Cops versus robbers.
Ah, I see. Fun.
So, Project, briefly, what are your thoughts on, Patrol Ranger and Lupinranger?
I have no idea what's happening.
Seems like most podcasts. Usually
This is
is
like-
most podcasts.
This is like the Hangover.
Oh, put it this way, at least
Project-
we're not rambling about riders and rangers.
Well, we actually sort of did that already.
I mean, technically we did.
Sort of.
But I didn't, so haha.
You're a little late with the warning, Flash.
Man, this Flashpoint paradox just doesn't seem to be working very well.
Neither did
Thanks,
the Time Ranger
Time Ranger.
finale. But yeah,
Continue, Jeff.
yeah, we've kind of gone on enough. I think about Patoranger and Lupinranger. We've been able to carry on I think a 20-minute conversation on just what we think could happen, what we want could happen, what
And a
should
lot
happen.
of Q Ranger discussion.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I mean,
Because
some
Q
of it
Ranger
will.
opened that Pandora's box of having
okay.
9 people.
And that Pandora's box is already still opened, over in Kamen Rider world.
Well, you see, Q Ranger opened a Pandora's box, and it sold really well. So now we get more things out of that box.
And then out of nowhere we get a kawaii Miten. You're gonna do it. I'm not doing it. You're gonna do it. No, I'm not.
Gonna do it.
Da-na-na-na-na. Oh yeah. By the way, I said to Metal that I was gonna do this on the episode. Be the One is a pop song that sounds like it's supposed to be to some magical girl anime series. There, I said it. I fucking said it. Or Be the One sounds like a song you would hear about almost like a slice of life meets supernatural, maybe superhero series, where it's a chick that is in almost a Kagome setting, where everyone around her are it's a reverse harem, where it's a chick getting sought after by a bunch of guys, and her trying to figure out which is the right one, and they're all superheroes. That's what Be
Wait,
the
what
One
you
makes me
about?
think.
So you're telling me it should be what Q Ranger should, the theme song for Q Ranger? Because
Oh yeah,
it's
because
Hammy,
Hammy
reverse
and
harem.
Hammy in a reverse harem. Exactly. I forgot that
What?
joke. I forgot that joke from 8 episodes ago.
I mean, who's to say that the robot that is Raptor has a gender?
Oh, let's not go there with the whole gender thing. Come on, guys.
Come on now. We don't want Tumblr after us. Again.
Well, I love fighting Tumblr. It's the greatest sport in history.
But nevertheless, we've talked long enough about those Sentais that haven't happened yet. Let's talk about Sentais that could happen. Because, there's this whole concept that freaking Mucha came up to me about, saying, hey, me and Alex were talking since we just watched Ultraman Orb, and we were like, what if Sentai did, a whole aspect where their powers were fusing together Sentais of old to make their form? So it would be every form they have in the show would be based on them using fusions of, say, mix and match Sentai teams or Sentai teams that have maybe similar themes, whether it be the aesthetics of what their suits look like, or the aesthetics of how they're handled, martial arts samurais and ninjas, so on and so forth. And since I guess Mucha kind of had
Goki Silver.
the idea.
Go Silver.
Wait, what?
Oh no. Oh no.
What?
Go guys.
Gokai Silver, yeah, pretty much it's the Gokai Silver when he would fuse the Goonger's Goon wings together, or how he fused red and green and red and silver. But there's an actual concept of actually fusing different seasons, different teams, and creating
Different groups.
yeah, similar to Geed, where you have Ultraman and Belial, or Orb, where it was Ultraman and Tiga, or Leo and Seven, stuff like that. So Mucha.
Are you telling me what Kamen Rider build should have been? Instead of actual creatures, you could have a full bottle of riders and then combine them?
Yeah, how the Full Bottle Rider series kind of sounds like it's going to be in the future.
Yes. Full bottles all the way. So just as an example, say that if Toei decided to make this one, it would be Shinkenger combined with Go Ranger to make this new Sentai team, Samasu Sentai Gokenger, and they have the suit design is similar to Go Ranger and Shinkenger combined with their own, something like that.
Pretty much. Now, some of this idea doesn't have to be fully thought out by saying their names. You can just say aesthetics that you want to see fused together, how you would maybe guide your series, and yada yada yada, so on and so forth. So I think since you planned this out with Alex first, he can be our first of our guests to give his ideas of fusions and what we could work with as ideal topics of mix and matches.
Sure, one of my ideas. All right.
Go ahead, Alex.
Yeah, one of your ideas.
Use your powers.
Give us
Use
One
your
of the
powers.
fusions I came up with was fusing Flashman and Car Ranger together. so that they could create crystallized car constellations.
God.
That's amazing.
That should happen. Like, they have the planet's powers combined with, like, vehicle powers.
Yeah.
Car magic combined with planet powers. Let's go.
I was
Their
trying to,
powers
like,
combined, I will create RV Robo. RV Robo, he's a man.
What I tried doing was, like, I tried, like, picking, like, two teams with, like, wildly different, like, fighting styles, and just seeing if they could somehow, like, merge together for something new.
I like it. Clash, man.
That was, like, really unique, because I was like, because I even said to Mucha that I can guarantee him that, if anything, I don't go as far back as, like, Live Man, because I haven't seen all of the pre-Live Man Sentais yet, or done enough research on them.
You're missing out, buddy. You're missing out.
There's a few that I have seen, but, like, just using that is, like, kind of, what is it, the Toku clickbait if I lived in the Philippines of, yo, you know that Bioman, and then they'll be like, oh my god, he likes Bioman.
Hey, man. We need the views, so might as well.
He's got a point.
Bioman's so great. Powerful. It's best Sentai. Changeman.
Bioman's amazing. It's so bio.
And
Hey, man, Asenshi died and never came back, so yeah, why not?
Hey, that happened to Battle Fever J, though.
Alright, so Soundout, you go next with a possible fusion of your own.
There's some obvious fusions, obviously.
Oh,
You'd
duh.
fuse Hurricaneger with Kaku Ranger, or Kaku Ranger with Ninja, so it makes Ninja actually good. I thought outside of the box here, and this may not count, but I want to go for it anyways. How about a fusion of Hikonen Sentai Akiba Ranger with Juden Sentai Kyoryuger Brave?
Get the fuck out of here. Please. You're fired.
But in all seriousness,
He's already kicked out the podcast.
I was thinking about this earlier. How about Car Ranger and Akiba Ranger? Because they get their powers from the most ridiculous sources ever.
He's got a point.
Car magic and constellations and marketing.
Like that would be like the Joker's like the Akiba Rangers aren't even a real Sentai, but then the Car Ranger logic is anything's a Sentai, and then like Red Racer shows up, and then this producer just grabs him by the ear like Misty does Brock and drags him off, going, "Nigga, I cannot deal with your shit."
So
right
wait,
now.
Too busy getting divorced.
is there powers if you combine Akiba Ranger with Car Ranger powers? Is it technically the power of a car dealership?
Oh my
Yes.
god.
I mean, this would technically be delusional car magic, so...
So they give out lemons to people to defeat their enemies?
When
I
life
like
gives
this
you
idea.
lemons, you make
You-
lemonade.
No, they sign him up for leases that they can't. There's no out clause.
Yeah. That's their powers.
But yeah, and the entire time is that you realize that the Sentai are technically the villains, even though they're defeating the villains with villainous ways. Hey, buy this new mecha from us so you can defeat us. They realize, wait a second,
Wait a
that
minute.
car dealership that's been selling us illegal goods is really, oh my god, dun dun dun.
Dun. Hate
Great.
Sama.
And then when you least expect it, you'll get 4 of the 5 parts of the mecha, and then they'll vanish without a trace.
I would
Or you
let
get
Green
the mecha, but this is-
Racer sell me anything.
Or it doesn't come with its final weapon. It doesn't.
Yeah. This is why Hate Sabra was after them. They're like the most unprofessional heroes ever.
Oh my god,
Like they
as-
sell wheels and mecha. It's only legs.
like oh my god, no, as a plot twist, as a real
Oh my
plot
goodness,
twist,
Wheels
guys.
is Hate Sabro.
Wait, guys, as a real plot twist, it's like, they actually bring back in, what's his face, can't think of the goddamn patrol man. What's his name?
Signal Man?
Yeah, bring in Signal Man as a joke for, like, anniversary stuff where he's always trying to arrest them because they're doing illegal shit. Like, you guys are selling weapons to the villains. Yeah, not working ones, though.
Without my permission.
Yeah, but it's stopping them. Look! And they just see like a whole bunch of villains just fall down because their mechas are just shit.
Like, they actually explode, or, like, they have, like, the gun to shoot them, but the gun backfires. It's like,
Yeah.
what the fuck?
And the villain is a fusion of Zanet and Malshina.
Oh god.
Oh god, that's uber porn star. Like that's just saying, let's just put Hitomi Tanaka. You know what? Fuck it, sign it up. Let's do this. Let's do
Even
this!
after the 23rd time, he still wants to
Hashtag erection.
And like, she has sex with you just to get Sentai information.
Hey, it's a hell of a way to go, though. Hey, it's fine. I'm gonna
Yeah.
die. Might as well.
Might as well. Go out and,
You
like,
guys
general
do.
opinion.
You guys do realize that this season would have to be directed by Koichi Sakamoto, since he's good with sex appeal.
What about the guy who did Akiba Ranger?
Yeah,
What
I
about
thought that was
Ryuta
also
Tasaki?
Koichi Sakamoto. At least the second
No.
season was.
No, that was
Ryuta Tasaki.
that was Ryuta Tasaki.
Oh, they just like to suck off Koichi Sakamoto in a couple of episodes, didn't they?
No, that's Steven. What's his name?
Oh, you mean the fake guy that wasn't Koichi Sakamoto pretending to be Steven Spielberg?
Yes,
George Spielberg.
yes, George Spielberg, the greatest director of our generation, will direct his masterpiece of Sentai.
Well, it could be worse. It could be worse, Mucho, right?
And then we'll combine them with like the Power Ranger so that they can sell like bad pets. It just all works out. They're just bad sellers. They're the ultimate tradesmen.
All right, so as Soundout said for Sentai, it's Car Ranger versus Akiba Ranger. Make them canon.
Make them the tradesmen.
so let's, since Project magically showed up, I guess he could try one of a crazy half-ass fusion on the go.
How much anybody's gonna put Jetman in there?
Wait, what's it called? We're only talking Sentai, right?
Yeah, you can only fuse a Sentai with a Sentai.
I don't know. There hasn't been a good Sentai since Core Uger. Well, they took a break, right?
You're correct in that statement.
The writers did.
You know what? Why don't we combine Core Uger and Go Unger so that means the dinosaurs can transform into cars with googly eyes?
Dinosaurs
I don't know why,
with
but
googly eyes.
What
is this? Kamada-kun?
But I imagine. Remember Grimlock in Transformers? What is it? Robots in Disguise? Where they try to make him into a car?
Oh yeah, when he became an actual crane.
Yeah, I don't know why. I had no reason why. It's the first thing I thought of.
Thanks, car robots. You gave Project an idea.
Go Ugers, go!
Go.
So basically, you're gonna give the dinosaurs wheels.
I mean, Tokuger did that with the Kyoryuger Russia.
That is true. Yes.
Yeah.
I own all the Legend Russia, and I have no idea why.
Because you're insane. You're criminally
Oh,
insane.
yeah, there we go. That's the answer.
Who's ever heard of a Saint Goku fan?
George C. Burton. Yep.
I own every Power Ranger Megazord, and it makes me feel happy and safe at night.
Until one of your bookshelves fall over
Excellent.
again.
You know what, Mike? I'm just imagining like all the things we're saying while imagining like transcendental institution.
Oh God. He's just listening to us going even more mad, wishing for the lobotomy to be fully effective.
This is literally why we get on her, Hirose's actual shit list. Just shows up at our house. Are you the guys that came up with this ludicrous idea? No.
Yes.
Yes.
The only reason that Soundout's shelf breaks is only because he bought him from the tradesman.
And you can't return it. There's no return policy.
No
Yeah,
returns.
no return policy. That's their special move.
And no warranty.
When you realize this
no
episode is
extended
just
warranty.
Soundout's idea just getting built up as like the greatest thing ever, when we should be, coming up with other scenarios. All right. So I guess I'll go, and then I'll go back. We'll go and give Mucha an actual legit one to talk about, other than his example. Okay, so this one was kind of like the scenario of like a lead up how Orb and Geed are kind of doing like fusions, and like a weird fusion form. So like my idea was like take the ones that have similar like aesthetics. So if you have a couple of animal Sentais, maybe like Ginga and Gao be like their base state, then like one of their side forms could be something like maybe Deca Ranger and Time Ranger because you got cops. Then in the Orb movie, there's this thing called Trinity Form where he took the more recent Ultras and fused them together, whereas in my case, I was like, let's take like the dinosaur teams or the ninja teams, which have had, a consecutive reoccurring theme, and make them like their actual final power-up or movie form, because since there's so many dinosaurs and so many ninjas, it would work perfectly as interchangeable movie form and, like their final form. And you just build up to that. However, like, one of the things I really want to do is actually fuse Deca and Time Ranger just in general, just because one of the things is, like, at times Deca Ranger, I feel like, doesn't do a super great thing of being a cop drama, and Time Ranger at times does treat itself like a cop drama. Like, there's elements where, like, those two shows together would make the perfect Sentai cop series. Like, you just take their elements, mix them all up, and you're like, damn, you got one hell of a cop drama on your hand. Because it would just be ludicrous. Combined. Exactly.
Well,
And
Deca Ranger's more of a send-up of a cop drama.
yeah, like there's elements where it's a send up too, but then Time Ranger does like straight up like cop scenarios of, hey man, I'm just off the job for the day, but then I stumble upon a freaking, drug deal, or oh god, there's a bomb threat that I have to deal with. It turns into like 80s action flick of, god damn it, I hate Christmas, like a fucking Die Hard movie, like the one with ISA
Wait,
gets
are you
trapped.
saying that we need? So are you saying that Bruce Willis is going to be your Red Senshi?
No, Bruce Willis will be their mentor. He'll be the mentor. Be like, yippee-ki-yay, motherfuckers.
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.
Wheels, he'll be the sixth benchy, Wheels. He'll show up whenever the hell he wants to say the
Yeah, he'll
day.
be like the Ryu commander.
You'll be Deck of Fire.
It's interesting you bring up the Trinity fusions, because it's like, imagine if you did like the 3 martial arts Sentai,
Masked Man, Guy Ranger.
Ranger.
Yeah.
It's like
Mucha and me debated that one earlier.
You're gonna be like containing like aura power, ki power, and Geki all at once.
And that literally is like, just unlocking Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan.
Basically, what they do is have the Kenshiro power of them touching them, and you're suddenly dead.
Oh my god, it's like the Dragon Ball Z abridged. What's going on? You're already dead.
You're
What?
dead.
I'd say the closest we got to that is probably Red Mask's God
God, man.
right?
Yeah.
I mean, he like shatters through like the monster, like punches a hole right through him.
Like that would be like that's the idea is like you would have your Trinity form be your final power up. I feel like because you would want to build off the fact that there's like 3 martial arts teams, there's 3 ninjas, there's 3 dinosaurs. That could be like your ideal go-to finish of that's their final form, that's their strongest form, and when they use that, it's just unlimited power. Like it is like to the most finite, super uncontrollable. Like you're gonna get rocked. So that's the idea of if you're going in the sense of how Orb kind of treated some of his fusions and then had the actual Orb origin Trinity form, you're like, yeah, it works perfectly. Like, damn, let's do this thing.
because in Ultraman Orb, the fusions would only work if you were like mentally able to handle like whatever cards you were using.
No, here's the funny thing too, is that all of the fusions in the Ultraman series though tie to the overarching meta, which Sentai doesn't have, which made it even harder for me when talking with Mucha about planning this episode, was the fact that all these seasons aren't as canon as they should be, where you could create stronger parallels with different dynamics of shows, where you could be like, oh, let's just take Magi Ranger and fuse it with O Ranger, or Magi Ranger and fuse it with Battle Fever J. It would make no fucking sense.
In a Toku show, Wheels, I'm ashamed. There's always no sense.
Then let's
It's
hear
nonsense.
then let's hear one of your other fusions then.
Oh, okay. This is the one that's came to my head because I was thinking of fairy tales and angels, so I combined
shit, not this one
Kyoryu
again.
Sentai Ju Ranger with Tenso Sentai Ghost Sager to make Tenryu Sentai Ju Sazer. Yeah, fuck all y'all.
I like that one.
Angelic dinosaurs, motherfucker.
That sounds amazing. It could all have angel wings at the end and fly away.
Exactly. I have them called named after the dinosaur forms with Jusei Tyranno, Jusei Mammoth, Jusei Tricera, Jusei Tiger, and Jusei Terra. And because there's also 2 Ghost Sagers, I have one for Dragon Ranger and Gosei Knight, and Dragon Ranger and Gosei Green, with Jusei Knight and then Jusei Dragon.
I think it does
Fantastic
work
Resurrection.
because like Jew Ranger and Ghost Sager both have a very high fantasy atmosphere to them.
Yeah, they have a high fantasy aesthetic to them.
Now, actually, thinking about fantasy and stuff, I feel like Magi Ranger could sort of work with either Jew Ranger or Ghost Sager because of certain elements of the mystical aspects of what their villain brought to the table.
Yeah.
But, I don't think the overall magic could work indefinitely with those properties. Because, it's, also, I feel like you could, when me and Mucha were saying, even villains should have the right to fuse, so, you would automatically think, oh, then just take the Magi Ranger villains and fuse them with, the Saima family, or...
Oh, we're gonna go to fusing villains? Oh my, that'll be amazing.
Well, no, I was just saying, there would be, an idea of maybe, a villain that can fuse villains together to create new Monsters of the Week, or not just new Monsters of the Week, but create just new, in general, things to fight with, because I feel like it would be an idea, because you'd want to have a villain that could do it.
I kind of played around with that by fusing all the past foot soldiers, and I mean, foot soldiers are debatably the most iconic villains in Sentai.
They truly are.
Yeah, like I wasn't gonna go too in depth in like fusing villains, but like I was just saying like there's like that whole possibility of like some of the villains are easier to intertwine one another in like aesthetics and themes because of they always usually on occasion have the same artists and illustrators do the concept art for them and creating the idea what they want their suits to be. So like some of them do tend to you're able to see their designs as other installments happen. So it's like a Sentai team to a Sentai team, the first thing you want to think is like mixing and matching aesthetics of shows of like dinosaurs or animals. But then like their villains that they face sometimes roll over with other series villains, which is kind of ironic because like I said, you could take Zyuranger, you could take Osager, fuse them, Zyuranger with Magiranger, but then you would look at their villain counterparts and you'd sit there and maybe go like, Saima family would work perfectly with the Magiranger villains because they're technically all demons. Whereas, like, the villains of Bandora's crew aren't necessarily demons per se, but they're all based on, like, fables and myths, where they can also sort of work with those factions. But, like, I'm thinking of other Sentai villains that also work on myths, so I feel like you would want to take Bandora's crew and have them, like, fused with the yokai from Kaku Ranger, because it's more like actual urban legends at that point. So it's like, it's one of those ones where Sentai seem a little bit harder to fuse outside of the aesthetic of what is the theme of the show. Is it dinosaurs? Is it cars? Is it that? Like, like there's only
that's why I kind of went with like the Flashman and Car Ranger thing, because I really wanted to like try and find something that wasn't like so like obvious, I guess.
Yeah.
Exactly. Like that's where I was also explaining to Mucha is there's a lot of obvious fusions you could come up with, like Car Ranger and Go Ranger as two comedic car Sentais fusing into one.
I did imagine like if Bandai and Toei went with this, I would speculate like which Sentais they would use. Like my instinct was that they would use Jetman, Zyuranger, Ranger, Hurricaneger, Decker Ranger, Shinkenger, Go Ranger, Kyoryuger, Sun Vulcan, Tokyuger, and Denji Man, and Gal Ranger.
And 5-man to throw everybody off.
That sounds about right, yeah. Yeah, why not 5-man? Because Toei is known for doing like a why the heck did you do this?
Yeah.
Guard 5.
We'll combine 5-man with Bokenger.
Oh Jesus fucking Christ, no.
And their powers are vehicle puppets.
I'm trying to imagine 5-man and Bokenger, and my brain is freezing.
See, they'd be going on an adventure to find the dead parents.
Exactly. Or one of them will be...
The adventure is to find your dead parents. Oh my fucking god.
That's the adventure everybody asked for. Yet somehow Go Busters reused 5-man's plot. Interesting.
And yet nobody remembered 5-man enough to call Go Busters a ripoff.
Probably is because not enough people actually freaking saw 5-man.
Yeah.
Everybody stopped watching 5-man when puppets were introduced. Yet the Buddy Roids became the puppets. Holy shit. This thing gets deeper and deeper.
Alright, so who wants to go next with another fusion? Soundout, do you have another fusion?
Do we want me to have another fusion?
Yes.
Dang, I had like one really good one. I didn't think of much else. Hold on, I got an idea. Let's fuse Live Man with Gal Ranger.
So science and animals.
Yes. Science.
So basically the Kiryu saga revitalized.
The
I want to be
appreciation
careful,
of all
Peter might go
animal
after you.
life.
Peter might go after you because combining animals with science, yeah, it's called experiment. So no. Peter will go
Come on
after
now,
you.
the only thing that will go after them is Mothra. But yeah, no, okay, so this is I got one. This was a stupid one where it was like the whole aesthetic of the names and the animals. But I said, hey Mucha, let's just fuse Ginga Man and Gal Ranger because literally it's just what they wanted it to be in the first fucking place. Ginga Man was supposed to be Gal Ranger the entire fucking time, but freaking Gal Geiger stopped them from naming the series Gal Ranger in the first place.
Copyright.
Pretty
Speaking of
much.
Ginga Man, I got one. Ranger and Ginga Man.
My god.
Well, at least the aura power is a better concept than the goddamn earth power.
Nah.
Are you talking about?
I mean, Earth power, like whatever, like what is it? The Earth power, whatever of Gingaman is kind of the same thing as Aura and Mana. It was just a weird name by calling it Earth power.
No, it's not.
It was just weird. Like,
Wait, why are you talking about Mask Man's aura power?
No, what was Die Ranger's thing again?
Key power.
Key Aura. I'm thinking because of the Aura changer. But yeah, no.
It's okay. Always remember that the Turbo Ranger was a vehicle in...
Fueled by fairy magic.
Yes, fairy magic.
The Turbo Ranger was a vehicle in another Sentai before Turbo Ranger existed. I forgot which show that was, though. Maybe Mass Man.
Was it Turbo Ranger, like their fucking powers were based off of some sort of like Griffin type constellation creature?
Yeah.
Oh god, that means Turbo Car Ranger or Q Ranger could work together as a fusion too. Constellations.
I mean, they could. Q Ranger and Car Ranger could just combine with the power of constellations.
That is true.
That would be so constellar. It'd be amazing. Because
Hey
then Sensei
Bandai,
would
where's
show
our
up.
premium Bandai Car Constellation Q-Tama set?
Make it now, damn it.
Oh
Yeah,
my God.
the
Make
reason why I came up with like the Die Ranger and Gingaman one was because like I kind of thought about the whole like, elemental like star power thing kind of, and how they are both like generational like warriors.
Yes.
Yeah, that works too with the whole aesthetic of the generational warrior. Like you could even do as a dick reference, Kaku Ranger fuses with Shinkenger.
Like Die Ranger and Gingaman also kind of like pull their like powers from like nature itself in different ways as well. But yeah, also like the Die Rangers is like key power. Like each of the individual Die Rangers like has like a different like attribute to them. Kind of like how the Gingaman has like a different like elemental attribute to them as well.
Yes.
Yeah, and that's the weird part is that like when you look at Sentai, so many Sentais really use the sense of the elements as well. In you got like Shinkenger, their Mojikaras.
So with like the yellow
Well,
Senshi,
You have Gosager that were still angels with elemental base.
Well, up to like Gingaman, that it was still pretty like a rare thing. Like when we get into like I don't know, like Hurricaneger or like Major Ranger, that's when you start seeing it a lot more often then.
it's like imagining like this fusion team, and like one of them is the yellow, and it has like time thunder. It like stops time, shooting lightning at you.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean the Flash? Just see
Exactly.
lightning bolts all around. Time stop. Now, here's something that I want to fuse with something. I want to fuse Go-Go 5 with something, but like I don't know what would be the proper thing to fuse them with.
I
Like,
came up with one with that actually.
what was your fusion?
Go-Go 5 and Mask Man, Aura Rescue.
What a rescue! They have the fists of justice to save your life.
Because like I wanted to do a weird fusion where it was like Go-Go 5 and Deca Ranger, but then there's like no sea-based like rescue team. Because like the weird thing about Go-Go 5 is like they're a rescue unit of different categories, and then you have Deca Ranger who are cops. So it's like it. If you had a team that was like say Tomika Rescue Fire, where they're like supposed to be like firemen, it would make a whole lot of sense of having a team that's actually supposed to be your lifeguard, your fire company, your cops, and then you have like military-based Sentais would be like a cool way to like mix and match, because then you could have it that would be how Go-Go 5 kind of got its basis off of, but they never did anything like that before Go-Go 5. So like later installments, you're like, oh yeah, we'll have cops, we'll do this, we'll do that. And you're sitting here like,
Beer
man,
and hookers.
Go-Go
and
5 would be like a great idea for an anniversary season.
I could just imagine Alex's team where they have like Healing Fist and Extinguish Fist and Capture Fist, because they're like police officers and firemen and paramedics.
Yeah. Well, like I mean, like there were like a few episodes where like aura power was used for healing or medicinal properties.
Yeah.
And I mean, there was also that one episode where the Masked Man were like trapped underground, and what was it? I think it was like Takeru Red Mask was kind of like, you know what? Hang on, I'm gonna use my aura power and make a ladder out of this.
Yes.
I think I know one fusion I would like to do, and this may seem a little weird, but I would want to do a fusion of Sun Vulcan and the core 3 of Hurricaneger.
Oh, I have that. I created that. I called them like Nino Sentai Volcanger.
It fits. I mean, they both kind of follow that whole like like land, ocean, and sky motif thing. I mean, same with Live Man as well.
But no one wants.
I actually want to fuse Live Man also with Mask Man, just only because I like Mask Man's mecha so much. With like, I would want to fuse like a way to fuse mechas with each other, or if we were to do like say the concept of the Sentais obtain their power through the fusions of teams to form their suits, but then when their mechas come out, it's like a core like almost. Like, the best way to explain it is if you were to do it like a series, I'd want the mecha to be almost kind of like a blank slate, kind of maybe like a one-piece, two-piece mecha, similar to like Galaxy Mega. But then what you do is it has like this holographic power of you press like a button or a switch and it'll become a previous mecha and sort of mimic the abilities of said mecha.
Yeah.
So it'd be like, oh hey, we flick this switch and out of nowhere it to the the villains looking at it and to people looking at it, when it activates like its illusionary like thing to turn itself into a new mecha, it's like, why is Daijujin standing here and why can it literally mimic every move Daijujin knows? Like it turns like actually into like a holographic like suit of armor over their mecha. So like when they're fighting, they're literally fighting as like it looks like Daijujin, but it's using their cockpit, and then they pull the lever again, and then out of nowhere just like, oh shit, we pulled the lever and we went all the way to like say Go 5. Now we're that mecha, or they pull the lever again. Now nowhere it's like, wait, why the fuck are we Gao Muscle?
It's kind of funny that you brought up Mask Man and Live Man fusion, because I immediately got reminded of that. What is it? That Buddha that shows up in Mask Man that's like behind Commander Sugata. Like,
Oh yeah.
it's kind of got that like half mechanical.
half. Yeah.
So it kind of made me think of like Live Man's whole like scientific appreciation of life thing. Because Mask Man was like always about like using like ancient mystical stuff into like the modern world.
Oh god, I just thought of another what the fuck fusion.
Uh-oh.
And this one would be like, no, don't do it. Don't you fucking do it. But do a fusion where you take freaking like Bokenger with like Abaranger, and so like out of nowhere when you do like an attack, out of nowhere the right arm turns into like Bokendrill's arm, and the other arm becomes the Abareno tail. Double drilling. Or
Bokenger and Abaranger sounds a bit more normal to me than Bokenger and Five Man.
Oh yeah.
Like Bokenger and Five Man, I still can't. I'm still not sure how to comprehend that.
But you're saying double drill thing between Bokenger and Abaranger. Well, Abaranger in and of itself can do a double drill.
Yeah, because of the Ankylodon.
Yeah.
One of the coolest like ideas they had was like, yeah, let's give him another drill arm. Who's gonna stop us?
One of the funniest things about that is when the dinosaur became self-aware of its use. It was like, guys, you've been using me a little bit too much. And it's like, well, we have no other option.
I still love the fact Abaranger gave personalities to their mecha. And then Dino Thunder just completely did not use that at all.
American sci-fi standards, I guess.
Danny boy, the pipes are playing for you.
See, I feel like Power Rangers could do these wacky concepts Sentai does. They're just afraid to.
Yeah.
Like, I
That's
feel like
right.
they could get away with it if they really tried, but they don't ever try.
If they put some effort into it, put some elbow grease into it.
I think it's because Power Rangers is often like seen as kind of like American sci-fi superheroes, and they want to like kind of keep it in that, I guess, atmosphere.
But it's like, even then, I think the reason why a lot of Power Rangers seasons don't work in recent years is because they take themselves way too seriously, or they take themselves way too comedic.
Super Sentai's always been very like, out there and surreal and even like bizarre at times.
Which is why I think it's kept its spirit really well, because it has just stuck to, we're a weird show, deal with it.
I mean, like the first episode of Gokaiger, when they like Gokai change into the Go Rangers, and they remember that the final like finishing move of the Go Rangers can turn into whatever they feel like.
It turns into like a scrapping machine.
Yeah, I mean in a lot of ways that is very much like Sentai in a nutshell right there.
Oh my god, it'd be a really, really fucked up fusion. Tokyuger, and Car Ranger. Because
I'm sure
like,
people have been wanting to say that.
like just that alone would be just as bad as
No,
Car Ranger
man.
with Akiba Ranger.
No,
or
just
Akiba Ranger with
just
Tokyuger. Holy shit.
Imaginative car powers?
imaginative constellations
I
instead
don't
of
know.
like,
I mean, I don't know. If you fuse Car Ranger and Tokyuger together, you'll just get Car Ranger, right?
but instead of car powers, they have train constellations. I had one just to spite Tokyuger fans because I've seen them diss the show, but Tokyuger and Jetman.
No, here's a better one. No,
Just train people.
no, here's a better one. Train. Okay, so Tokyuger, Jetman, and Car Ranger.
Oh my God.
You know, what is it? Planes, trains, and automobiles.
Winged cars and trains.
Planes, trains, and automobiles.
Going back to Akiba Ranger and Tokyuger for a second, we don't really want imaginative marketing now, do we?
Yeah, that's too much power. That's Market Man.
One fusion, actually, speaking of which, like one fusion I did come up with was Bioman and Abba Ranger. So Biomeek Guts.
That would actually be a unique way. I was also trying to sit here going, man, what would be a cool way to like just fuse Lights of Orion with another ability that Sentai's have? Like, what's a Sentai team that has like a cool power up that you could fuse with the Lights of Orion and make it even more unique? I'm just sitting here like, man, what could you combine that with that and be like, man, it just got even more badass. Like, holy shit, how could? I'm just sitting here trying to figure
When
out.
was the last time we had a full team power up? That's a good question.
Go Sager.
Busters.
Go Busters? Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
And it sold really horribly, so they haven't done it ever since.
Let's
I
combine.
wonder if that also leads into that suit cost thing we were talking about earlier, because that doubles your number of Ranger suits.
Go Busters bombing, like they lost a lot of money, so yeah.
They were pulling out
Hey,
their
guys,
hair, going cray-cray.
Imagine fusing Dino Guts with Lights of Ginga though. Just think like the Dino Guts like blades coming out of their arm now is like solid gold and like all like weirdly jagged and shit. And you're just like, what the hell? What the hell?
So you're basically taking this radiant power source from the Milky Way and basically inserting one's like spiritual like dino energy into it.
Exactly.
I mean, I swear, how do we know like doing such an act isn't going to like turn our entire galaxy into like a giant dinosaur head?
How do you know it not already is a dinosaur head? Hmm?
That is
How do
true.
you know that no matter what happens, Dino Supercharge already changed history?
You know what's funny? The power upgrade thing from Ninja, was it the Lion Howl armor? Imagine that.
The Chozet's armor?
What?
The Chozet's armor?
Yeah, the Chozetsu. Put that fusion with the Lights of Ginga.
No.
Wait, Lights of Ginga.
Chozetsu.
Or you know, it'd be another cool, crazy fusion. Take the aesthetics of swap mode and mix it with like the Shinken super jackets, or the Shinken super jackets with the miracle mode or whatever from Go Sage or whatever Go Sager's.
Go Sager, yeah.
Yeah. What was it?
Okay, Wheels, go home. You're drunk.
Damn right I am. I'm drunk with power ups. Ah!
Not every fusion has to be power ups.
Wheels
Next
wants
thing
to
you
fuse
next
Lights
thing
of
you're
Ginga
going to be
with
hearing
stuff.
from Wheels is him combining Metal Heroes with Sentais.
Bro, you know it would happen. You know it could happen. Like, just fuse the Go Riders and Beat Buster with any of the B Fighters. There's your Sentai. You know what I would like to see a fusion of? And this is sounding a little ludicrous, but I'd want to see, like, maybe a Sentai like Go Sager with Jack, because then it would actually like play with the whole card aesthetic, since their theme was using cards, and Jack is actually based on cards.
That would actually be kind of interesting.
Cyborg Angels, baby, let's go.
Well, I was
Why
just
don't we
thinking about like
work
just giving them the ability to have like an actual card gimmick.
Yeah.
Jacko and Ryuki, buddy. All the cards.
Project, you know Ryuki never happened, right?
Depends on which reality we're talking about.
Depends on which.
He got you with the alternate ending bullshit.
Depends on the reality. We're in the reality where it doesn't exist.
Are you sure?
I'm
We're
pretty
in
sure.
Reality.
Hey man, Flashpoint exists, guys.
I'm pretty sure it's the reality where Ryuki didn't.
It's the reality of Akiba Ranger.
Because I'm
Oh my
pretty
god,
sure.
what happened with Ryuki's Barry's fault?
Oh no.
That means the same thing goes for Time Ranger's ending.
Oh no. Just every time problem is Barry's fault.
Hey guys, why is there like multiple Godzillas? Barry's fault.
Nah, it's all Will.
Come on now, I would not ever do something as ludicrous as the Ghidorah storyline.
Listen, Wales, we all know that you tried to fix your legs and you created King Ghidorah by accident.
You know, that would actually be a better story than what they gave us.
One of King Ghidorah's head is actually Wheels' foot.
No, Project, what if, Project, one of its heads is actually the chair.
Oh,
The
God.
chair.
So King Ghidorah is basically Wheels Form 2.
Yeah.
Essentially, that's what we're saying.
It's the combination of all of his like discarded wheelchairs and his legs.
You know,
God, that now makes me think that it's the Neo-organism.
You know, I swear the audience probably came in here thinking, like, I'm going to hear about Sentai fusions, and this is happening instead.
Listen,
This is about to happen.
they're happy with tradesman.
Trade,
called-
I think will repeat.
It's called, this is a Patreon exclusive, Wheels.
Yeah, Patreon exclusive.
Pretty much this entire episode just turned into like one of those ones where it's like, we're almost going over the limit, so, you know, we gotta start wrapping this motherfucker up.
Can we wrap up something that's just been so random?
No.
Basically, what should happen is that when Wheels edits this, we should just have like it be like time has just been gone for completely, and then we just say something that's completely off topics, like, and that's how we all figured out that Dende was actually Frieza the entire time, and then the podcast just ends.
No, that's not how it's actually gonna end, though. So, we're gonna wrap up this show. I'm gonna have to edit some of this down. It'll probably be a lot shorter than it originally came out to be, of being almost 90 minutes long. Actually, technically, it already is 90 minutes long.
And that's
you know.
how we figured out that the puppets from Five Men are the true villains of Sentai.
Yes, exactly. They're always the truth. Puppets are always the villains. Just ask Die Ranger. But anyways,
If you want to know the full story, subscribe to our Patreon now.
yeah,
For the full
exactly.
story.
Just go to the Patreon. Just go to the Patreon to learn more. Anyways, this has been Los Ingobernables, episode 28. We have no idea what actually is going to happen in next week's episode, but let's hear from our guests how you can contact and reach them, starting off with SentaiBandicoot. Just give your plugs.
Let's see. I've got a Twitter account. I'm also called SentaiBandicoot on there. And I have a blog which is sadly like picking up dust I desperately need to get back to, called Sentai Bandicoot's Rambles. And yeah, hopefully I'm there.
Alright, and now for our other guest and technically founding member of Hero Club, Soundout 12.
I can be found on YouTube as Soundout12. Also check me out on Twitter at Soundout12. I keep things consistent. It's the same name across everything. If you really want to find out what my PSN is, I bet you can guess it based on the information I've already given you.
Alright, and then as usual for myself, Mucha, aka President Kaiksa, and Project, we are, the same as usual. Our actual links are always in the description of these episodes, so you can always find us there. Anyways, like I already said a little earlier before, like just a couple of seconds ago, we still don't know what's going on in next week's episode. However, this may be one of the last episodes you may hear Mucha on for a while, if he does get that job he has recently applied for. So anyways, subscribe to the Patreon that we don't have. Wish him the best of luck and hope that we can still record the podcast as usual. Anyways, we'll see you all next time. Hey, it's Wheelchair21, and thanks again for listening to an all-new episode of Los Ingobernables de Tokusatsu. If you want to hear more content or see more content from the Hero Club YouTube channel, we're going to need you to subscribe, like, comment with some feedback, and share this channel with a friend. We also would like you to check out our website, hero-club.com, and follow us on various social media outlets just by looking up Hero Club for Life, as well as the stores you see are where we shop. Anyways, thanks again, and we'll see you all next time.